Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Umvorach. We often wonder, what is the secret to success? We look around us, we see people that are so successful. We wonder, what is it that we're missing? What could we be doing differently or better to be able to succeed in our lives? Now, of course, success requires many things, but if we had to narrow it down to one, or if we had to start somewhere, I believe the answer is that the secret to success is one word: perseverance. To persevere, to persist, to keep going. Because to innovate and to have ideas and to initiate a project is great, it's nice, but that's not going to make us successful. What's going to make us successful is when the crowd is gone, when the inspiration fades, when there is no more encouragement, when the going gets rough, when that idea that we had at the beginning that was so amazing now seems so very dull. What we call the day-to-day grind. It is that we need to become successful in any area of life. And I believe this is what our rabbis had in mind when they compare different difficult things to the splitting of the sea. We read in this week's Parashat Beshalach, that the Jewish people are standing there with the sea in front, the Egyptians pursuing behind them, and there is nowhere to go. And God comes down and performs one of the greatest miracles in history. He splits the sea for them, and the Jewish people walk through. And then finally, after they come out on the other side, the Egyptians get drowned. And our rabbis have a simile for us. Our rabbis say that kashe zivugan, marriage is difficult, kekriat yamsuf, just like the splitting of the sea. What exactly did our rabbis mean by this metaphor, comparing marriage to the splitting of the sea? Of course, if we ask further, what was so difficult about splitting the sea? After all, He's God. Bring one strong wind, split the sea, it's over. The answer, of course, is our rabbis tell us it is not difficult to split the sea. That wasn't the miracle that we're celebrating on Kiryat Yamsuf. The miracle was keeping it split for an entire night. Perseverance. And so it is with a marriage. The process of marriage, some people a little bit easier, some people a little bit harder, but the process overall is rather simple. Take a ring, put it on a girl's finger, hareat mekudeshet, and that's it. Marriage is performed. But that's not what's going to make a successful marriage. To have a successful marriage, one requires perseverance. It's such a shame that sometimes people spend months and months planning a wedding, but they don't spend a single day planning their marriage. Because ultimately, what's going to define a successful marriage is not the first day. It's not when they get married. It's not splitting of the sea. That's easy. It is afterwards, when the inspiration is gone, when it gets boring, when the crowd leaves, when the Shiva Berachot is over. And now we're back to the bourgeoisie, to the day-to-day life. No more spotlight, just me and you. Sometimes there are disagreements. It gets difficult. It is perseverance that will determine whether that marriage will last or not. And our rabbis say it's the same with the business. Kashem mezonotav. Making money, parnasa, is difficult like the splitting of the sea. And again, because to get a job is not difficult. To start a business is not complicated. To invest is rather simple. Most people don't make money by investing in some gaming company and jumping up overnight. That's not how people become wealthy and successful in business. It is about keeping that job. It is about growing the business. It's about investing wisely, weekly, monthly. That is the secret to persistence. Perseverance is what we need if we want to succeed in our lives. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Bardichev was once collecting for a poor family. He went out and he came back at the end of the day with very little funds. He was kicking himself. He was very upset that his project was not successful. He said to himself, what am I doing going to collect? I wasn't successful. Let me just stay studying. Let somebody else do it. Well, when he came back to the town of Bardichev, he found that they caught a robber, a thief, a ganav. He goes over, he says to the thief, my son, don't you regret what you have done? Don't you realize that it is not worth it? You were caught. And the thief smiles as he says, Rabbi, I have a different philosophy. Me? If today I wasn't successful in robbing, I try again tomorrow, and maybe with the help of God, I'll succeed. And Rav Levi Yitzchak of Bardichev learned from the thief what it means to persevere. And sure enough, the next day out, he was there again collecting for the family. And so it is with our lives, with our marriages, with our parnasah, with our religious journeys. A lot of times we get excited, we get inspired, we decide we want to do something, we want to learn something, we want to accept upon ourselves something, we want to stop a certain negative habit, we want to start doing something more constructive and positive in our lives. And we get excited and we have that burst of inspiration. But then a week later, a few days later, it fades, it dies, it's gone. And whether or not we emerge out successful, whether we walk out from the other side of our sea of problems, is whether or not we are able to persevere. Not to have that one time, that one idea, go to that one class, that one chesed. That's not going to do it. It is the day-to-day grind. In the words of Thomas H. Palmer, if at first we don't succeed, try and try again. Shabbat Shalom.